Hi everyone, this is OTT from OTTJasmine.com. Today we're talking about getting unstuck in your creative process. As you know, I'm a writer, I'm a blogger, and with these videos I'm a vlogger, so I write basically every day or almost every day. And there are times that I just get stuck in my process and it feels like I keep saying the same things over and over again. There's nothing new, there's nothing exciting, and I'm like, what is going on? At such times, I realize that I haven't really switched things up. I haven't curated thoughtful, articulate content. I haven't read stuff or listened to stuff or watched stuff that challenged me and enriched my worldview and gave me something to think about, something to write about. So I noticed it yesterday, and there's this book that has been sitting on my shelf since Christmas, you guys, like Christmas 2016. Okay, and this is September 2017, so this is like basically 9 months later, and I started reading it. It's called Creativity Inc. by Ed Catmull with Amy Wallace. And it's a really good book because it talks about, the basics of storytelling, and the guy who wrote it is like a top executive at Pixar. So it's flavored with anecdotes from Pixar and lessons and stuff. And so it was just really interesting to read the book and then explore another angle to my writing. It enriched what I had to say for that day. And even for today as well, I found that I was still thinking about the book, and it informed what I wrote about in my journal this morning. So it's a good way to get unstuck is to read something new. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean you always have to buy new books because money can get a little tight, you know what I mean? But you can look at your shelf, maybe pick up something you haven't read in a long time, or reread one of your favorite books. Or you can listen to a new podcast, watch a YouTube channel. Hello, you can watch my YouTube channel. And you can just consume content by people doing what you already want to do. So if you're a painter, you can hunt down painters online. You can hunt down designers. You can hunt down dancers. There's so much out there. And disclaimer, you cannot consume all of it. It's just not possible. There's so much information out there. For you to consume all of it, you would be learning and never applying. And application is just as important as learning, you guys. So it's not just about reading a great book and being like, oh, I'm so inspired, and doing nothing with it. No, if you read a great book, or you watch a great TED Talk, or you listen to a great podcast, how can you apply what you learned from them that day? If it's taking action in your business or in your side hustle or just in your passion projects, what can you do that day, that week, that month that acts on what you learn? Because when you act on what you learn, it's like you wire it deeper into your brain. It goes deeper. It's just like when you're listening to something. If you write it down, you are more likely to remember it than if you just listen. It's science, you guys. If you write stuff down, you are more likely to remember it for a longer period of time than if you just listen. This is why taking notes is good. But it's not enough to take good notes. What are you doing with the notes? Do you just take them down, put them up on the shelf somewhere, let them gather dust? Or do you utilize them like I try to do? I try to go over my notes every now and then, just okay, what can I apply in my blog, in my journal, in my YouTube channel? What can I do differently that I'm not currently doing? Or what can I go back to doing that I was doing for a while and forgot? So there are all sorts of ways to get unstuck. Personally, I am a fan of traveling when you have the cash. There's just something about going to a beautiful city and taking pictures and just being in a different environment that unlocks your creativity. That's what it does for me. So travel is good, reading new stuff is good, watching new stuff, listening to new stuff, or going back to old favorites and revisiting the lessons there, because there's always something you can do better, right? There's always something you can do better. So if you look at your shelf and you're like, oh, I really enjoyed this book, and it's been a while since you read it, pick it up and flip through it, or maybe read it again. Read the highlighted sections if you highlighted sections. And if you didn't, just read the book, give yourself a couple of days to a week to read through it slowly and just reacquaint yourself with what it says and then apply what it says, and you will find that it will get you unstuck. So you don't have to be like, oh, I'm stuck, I'm not making any progress. Like, being stuck is a temporary thing. Like, it's human nature to get stuck, but it's not good to remain stuck, because then there's no growth, there's no progress, there's just stasis. Death to the stasis, So if you find yourself in a position where you are stuck and you do not know how to move forward, I encourage you to look at your bookshelf, look at your content library, look at the people you follow online, crawl their resource pages. Maybe there's a talk that they gave, maybe there's a book that they wrote, or a blog series that they wrote. Maybe there is something that can catapult you forward and get you out of your own way. I am going to post a link to one of my blog posts. I think it's called 4 Ways to Spark Explosive Creativity. I'm going to post the link under the video, so when you're done watching the video, you can read it. It's a quick read. It's not going to be more than 5-6 minutes, I don't think. So, and I'm also, I have a couple of projects that I'm working on, and I'm pretty excited, and I'm going to share them with you at the appropriate time. So this is OTT from OTTjasmine.com. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video. Leave me your comments, ask me your questions, read the blog post I'm going to post beneath, and I'll see you guys.